there we are, doing a thing on a leap year.
Right, it is a special day.
This can only happen once every 4 years.
Uh-huh.
Actually, how true is that? Is it every 4 years? Because I looked
Did you
this
think
up.
this was an urban legend?
No, I looked it up, but Wikipedia doesn't mention like it happens every 4 years. They have some like mathematical like formula thing to be like,
well, they're just overcomplicating it. It is 4 years, yes, every 4 years.
Come on, Wikipedia, do your job.
Every Olympics and presidential election year is also a leap day year.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. But I was just like, I was having this like existential crisis of like, I was always told it's every 4 years. I've lived my whole life thinking it's for every 4 years, but Wikipedia doesn't mention 4 years. It's like, was I wrong? Is it 3 years? Why are they not mentioning 3 years? Whatever. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 85 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. We're recording on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Which is what we normally do not do. Melissa, you were on babysitting duties.
I was.
Last night. How was that? How'd that go?
It was good. It was fun. We were reading, do you know Little House on the Prairie? Are you familiar with that concept? Okay.
Yes.
So she has these like little kids picture book versions of those. Little House in the Big Woods. They put that little house all over the Midwest as Laura Ingalls Wilder and her family were trying to find a home. So we're reading the Little House in the Big Woods book, and it's winter. And it talks about how, I'm going to stay inside and bake with Mother, and Father is going to go out and hunt, and he's going to bring home meat so that we have meat in the house over the long winter. And my niece just laughs and says, meat.
That's all he says is just meat.
Meat. And I'm like, I guess she's got a point. Like, nobody's like, well, I have to go to the store and get meat. Kids were having meat for dinner. I love meat.
Hey, Mom, what's for dinner? Meat.
Meat.
Yay! Meat. My name is Kyle Springer. That is Melissa Wilkinson sharing all of the meat stories.
Our many meat stories we have as a family.
Yeah, a plethora of meats. Have you ever had? Were you a family that did the like traveling meat salesman thing?
What?
Do you know what I'm talking about when I say this? A traveling meat salesman.
Tell me how this works.
I mean, you've seen like a traveling vacuum salesman, like door to
in
door
old
thing.
Movies, in Arthur Miller plays. Did they have this?
Yes.
When you were young, were there legitimate traveling salespeople that would come to your home in the 90s?
Yes.
What?
They would
What's
come
happening
and
over
I
there on the
remember
East Coast.
my parents would sit down with these people and they would have like spreadsheets and whole plans and all of this stuff of like to get these like frozen packs of meat delivered to the house, and it would be like steaks and burgers and chicken and all, just all sorts of stuff. And I just it wasn't something that I thought about when I was younger. It just kind of happened. It's not something that involved me. But looking back, it's just like this guy walking door to door selling meat.
Like the meat packages I am aware of, but I thought they would come from a catalog or maybe a mall kiosk, but not from a legitimate traveling salesperson with a briefcase full of meat pamphlets.
Oh, man. But have you listened to a podcast that's like sponsored by Omaha Steaks or something?
I think I have in the past. Yeah, that one has come
It's
up around the holidays.
basically the same thing of just like, hey, sign up and we'll send you like a giant care package full of like 20 steaks, 30 chicken patties. Here's 14 burgers. Here's some pie, because who doesn't love pie? But also here's some sausages, and it's all of that stuff.
That does
That's
sound
what that
nice.
reminded me of.
Growing up, our next door neighbors owned a local butcher shop, so we would just get everything from them.
Man.
Yeah, we had the hookup. We would go in there as little kids, and they'd give me and my brother candy. We would go. There's a pretzel shop. No, a dumb sucker, but they would also give us meat. I guess you could candy the bacon if we wanted to. But there's a local pretzel shop here in St. Louis. It has been around for 100 years. 100 years, this family has been baking pretzels. And this is on like the other side of town. You have to drive like a solid half an hour to get to the pretzels.
Okay.
And we'd do it. We'd go get the pretzels. And then on the way home, we would stop into this butcher shop and my dad would give them pretzels. And then in return, they would trade my dad a rack of ribs.
Barter system. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just Googled meat candy.
Yeah.
I see a lot of bacon stuff.
I have candied bacon
that
before.
I don't recognize. It looks like some jerky, but then I see a picture of. Let me see if I can pull this up here. View image. There we go. Oh, it's tiny. Let's see if this is working right now. Perfect. There you go. It's a picture of a steak, Skittles on top.
Ah!
It's terrifying.
Milk steak, jelly beans.
Awful. Cursed image.
Oh, when I was a kid, we went to a car dealership. Like one of my parents was trying to buy a new car, and they had, I think it was like a big, sales event.
Sure.
Toyota thought, or something akin to that. Whatever Chevy's holiday was. I think my parents drove Chevys when I was a kid. And there was like a kind of a food truck there that the dealership had set up to like give everybody snacks while they were there for this giant event. Because especially back then, just all the paperwork of buying a car took so much longer. Like you could be at a dealership for 6 hours. And there was a hot dog cart, and I think it was also chilly outside, so they were serving like hot chocolate and things too. And they had the bar of condiments, and I made myself a hot dog, and then I took the can of whipped cream and put the whipped cream on the hot dog.
What are you doing? What?
I think I was just joking. I think I was just joking around, being a wacky kid. Like, imagine 2 foods that never go together. Watch me do it. Aren't I a card? And I put the whipped cream on the hot dog, and I'm like, this ain't bad.
Who thinks of that, though? Of like, yeah, this'll work out.
Yes. The same. The lady. I did it.
That's funny. So.
Yes.
Melissa, last week I promised a certain story.
Oh, is it time now?
It is time for the Squarespace mystery.
Ooh.
This is something that has been plaguing me for a little while now. Hold on, I'm also kind of fixing something on the stream here. So that hopefully down the road we can give Melissa her one shot sometimes. Okay, that should be good. Cool. Squarespace mystery.
Okay.
A month ago, I was just chilling in my room, doing my thing, like a young boy does. And I happened to, whatever that means. And I happened to look at my bank account. I think I had like just gotten paid or something, or was like making sure it was in there or something. And I go into my banking app and I look at all my transactions and stuff, and I see one that I don't recognize. What is that? Because it was like $96. I was just like, oh, geez, that's a lot. When did I spend that? And I look, and it's from Squarespace.
Yeah.
That's weird. I'm not a Squarespace customer.
Okay, because I
That's
have no
no
idea
good.
what our site is built on. You just had
We
it when
use
I got here.
WordPress.
Okay.
Yeah. So I then look in the rest of my transactions, and everything looks fine. And then I notice another charge from Squarespace earlier in that same month. It was like January 7th and like January 21st that these two charges were. One of them was for 96 and one of them was for $20.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have been a Squarespace customer in the past, but this was like in 2015, 2016. This was a long time ago for a personal website. This was like, I'm graduating college. I'm going to make my portfolio website and it's going to be great. I'm going to get a job. And so I made this site and I recognized those amounts. It was like, that's a year's worth of hosting and a domain name. So it seems like someone just bought a website with my card. Really weird.
Yeah.
So I looked back further in my transactions, and it let me go to let's see, it let me, because this happened 2020, so it let me see to January 2019. And again, I see the same two charges.
How is this happening to you? And you don't care that you're missing like almost $120?
I just didn't notice it. And yeah, and I was
you're
like,
living a high-end life, my friend.
Right, high roller. So I'm sitting there like, okay, that's strange, but it's only showing me up to, or back to January 2019. I need to call my bank. I was like, I don't know what's happening here. So I call him, and I'm like, hey, dude, so I need you to check on something. There's some transactions that I don't know if they're suspicious. It could have been me just being an idiot, and like I forgot to cancel the subscription, right? So I was like, I need you to look for transactions in my history from Squarespace. Can you tell me when all of my transactions from Squarespace are? And I explained the whole thing. I was like, back in 2016, I was a customer, so there should be a charge there. And then the ones that I just saw were 2019 and 2020. What about 2017 and 2018? Can you see any charges there? And they said no.
What?
Yeah, so I was like, huh. Interesting.
Maybe you got like a next 2 years for free.
I don't know. So
like those deals where it's like, move in now. First month's rent is on us.
Yeah, right. So I was like, all right, don't do anything about this now. I'll maybe eventually call back if it's suspicious. But I was like, I'm going to go talk to Squarespace and see what the deal is on their end. Melissa, for the past month, I have been trying to deal with Squarespace, and they are the goddamn worst.
That's not what the podcast ads have led me to believe.
I know. And I've used them before their service, like the thing that their actual product is fantastic. But their customer support was just absolutely no help for this past month.
Now, as somebody who works in something that is kind of like customer support, I gotta tell you, sometimes there is, when you run into a specific issue, there is a specific person to handle it. And if that person is not there, everything kind of grinds to a halt, and you have to send these vague holding replies like, we are looking into your issue. We assure you we are working to make progress, and we will update you as soon as we can. Like, sometimes it's like, we just got to wait for Ted to get back from vacation, and then we can figure this out.
Yeah. That is not this. It's not this case. So I talked with them. I explained the situation. I was like, look, I found these two mysterious charges on my card. I didn't know what they were. They were from you guys. I haven't been a customer since 2015. I bought a website for a year, and I let it expire. Or at least I thought I did. The thing is, with that website, the reason why I thought I let it expire is because after that first year, I lost access to the site.
Oh, wow.
None of my emails worked. None of my passwords worked. The website was still up. It was still like on their servers, but I couldn't access it. And when I did the like, hey, I forgot my password, send me a reset email, it didn't go to any of my emails.
Ooh.
So I was like, okay, like who owns this domain? Like you can look up that information and stuff, and it was all hidden information, which is pretty standard with Squarespace. They for security, they make sure you can't see all that stuff, but it still has that option of like, hey, email the person that owns this domain name. And I was like, send them an email, and I was like, hello? Question mark? No response. Didn't go to me. Didn't go to any of my emails. So I was just like, well, I guess that makes sense because I let it all expire. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's a thing that happens. Like if you let a domain name expire, usually these companies come in and buy them up for really cheap and then try and sell it back to someone else. Be like, for $1,000, you can get the whatnauts.com. It's like, yeah, no thanks. So I just took that as my website was done. That was it. And eventually it would get deleted, or maybe I got hacked somehow. But yeah, for those 2 years after that first year, I wasn't charged. And then all of a sudden I get these two mysterious charges that I only noticed this past month. So yeah, I'm like, all right, here's Squarespace. Here's the whole situation, all of that stuff. And the first guy responds, pretty standard response. He's like, yeah, we'll look into this. Here's all the information I need from you. Here's what I need you to do, all of that stuff. So I play ball. The person who then responds to my response is someone else. And it's very obvious that they didn't read my initial thing. So I was like, okay, I'm going to have to re-explain all of this stuff. So I explain it. It was like, that guy just made me sign up for a new account. I don't understand why. I just want to get a refund. Like, or what is happening here? And they were like, well, we can only give refunds to people who actually own websites on or something like that. And like to converse about sensitive information about a specific website, you need to be the one who's owning it. So to do that, you need to make a new account so that we can transfer the website to your new account, all of that stuff. So I signed up for a new account. I did all of that stuff. I jumped through all their hoops. They transferred it over. And because of that, I got to look at all the invoices of every time they charged me. And according to their invoices, they did charge me in 2017 and 2018. And I was like, that's not what my bank is saying.
Wow.
My bank is saying you didn't charge me those times. And they're just like, well, we don't know what to tell you. But the infuriating thing is that every time I sent a response, someone new responded. And it was just obvious every single time that it was like, you didn't read what I wrote last time. Like, I'm going to have to explain this whole thing again. And so it was just like, I was just getting more and more angry and frustrated and all that stuff. And eventually I was just like, all right, screw this. This is terrible. You guys stole this money or something. Who knows what? I have no idea. It is a mystery.
I think you got to go back to them.
I mean, at this point, they've basically told me we can't give refunds For domain names, we can't give refunds for, like after a year, like all of this stuff. So my only other option is to go back to my bank and be like, these are fraudulent charges. But then they're gonna like freeze all my accounts and all of that stuff. And I don't know. Like I've shut the website down since then, once they transferred it to me. But I kept being like, look, you're just a standard support person. I know you can't do much. Give me your boss. Give me someone who can help me. And they didn't. It was just like, hey, I'm Samantha from the support team here to help. Like all that stuff. And I'm just like, no, Samantha, go away. Get me your boss. Get me someone who can help.
The basic support person is trying absolutely everything they can, and there may be a tendency to block things off into, these are the classic problems I always run into, and scan the thing and say, oh, I know, that fits in classic problem C, so I'm going to send you the standard response for classic problem C, because they're probably buried in emails. They're trying to see how quickly they can triage things, and if you come back and say, well, actually, I have something different, then they can pay their full attention to it. I think you should really say, I haven't had the best experience. I feel like something is missing. This is what I'm looking for. Please let me know, who is that person? How do I get in touch with them? How long do I have to wait? And like maybe try like, do I need somebody who's on vacation? Like try and call them out on it and see if they're like, okay, we got, Ted just had a baby. Once Ted's back, like Ted can look into this.
Like I feel like I've done that though, because like I know that they're just like standard support person, and it's not their fault. Like they aren't the ones that are like Kyle Springer, let's fuck with him, So it's just like I can't get angry at you, but you're also not helping. I'm asking for someone who can help because I know that you can't. You have your standard responses.
Yeah.
You have that like, well, have you looked at our FAQ? It's like, yes, Tim, I have looked at your FAQ. It's not helping. That's why I'm here, and you're not helping. That's why I'm asking for someone else. God damn it.
Yeah. I'd just come back and be like, it looks like you guys are missing something. What can I do to help you? This is what I would do in this situation. Like, it seems like your customer support platform needs a little upgrading. Do you need any help? Like, can I help? Look, can I email Ted and ask him when he's coming back? Or if he had like left some notes in his desk drawer? Like if somebody's not helping you, you got to step up and say, how do I close this gap? How do I help you help me?
Yeah, exactly. But I've been back and forth with them many times over the course of a month. And so they did manage to refund me $96.
That's
so it was
good.
Like,
that's
we
something.
can do the like that one thing, and I was like, well, thank you. That's a good first step, but there's still like $100 and something left. There's still like $150 something bucks left that I am out here. But this led to something else.
Whoa, there's more.
There is more, and I'm still dealing with this thing. To make this new account and for them to transfer that old website to me, I had to send them a picture of my ID to prove that I am who I say I am. I look at my ID.
Yeah.
Melissa, my ID expired back in November.
Did you receive any mail about this?
Probably not, because the address on my ID is the one from when I was in high school in Northern Virginia. I've lived at like 5 houses since then.
Okay. Okay.
So that's the strange thing. With an expired ID, technically I should not have been allowed to go on an airplane and do all that stuff. I went on them twice, and they didn't say shit. So I don't know
there's
how
like
that happened.
Maybe there's a grace period of like 6 weeks or something like that.
Maybe. Yeah, like that expired back in November, and I noticed that. So I was like, shit, how do I give Squarespace my ID without them realizing it's expired? So I had to hold my ID in a way that like my thumb was covering the expiration date without it like actually
There's
looking
a very
like I'm
convenient
trying
light
to.
glare.
Yeah, right? So that worked, thank goodness. But now I have to go get my ID renewed.
Yeah.
Which I have a learner's permit. I don't have a driver's license, and I don't have like the actual like this is just an ID card.
Yeah.
So I haven't done that yet. I have been gathering all the like documents and other forms of ID that I need to even get that done. I think I might need to retake the test again. Like if I want to renew my permit, they're like, you're gonna have to retake the test. Which part of me is just like, I kind of just want to get an ID and not worry about the test. But then part of me is like, it's gonna be a lot more helpful to just have the permit for when I do get my license and stuff.
Just buckle down and dang do it.
Yeah, it won't be that hard, but it's still just like, so on top of that, one of the things I need is my birth certificate.
Have your parents found it now?
Yeah, so for those of you guys who don't know, back when I originally tried to get my permit back in high school, or back in high school, I had studied one night, and they came in the night before we were about to go, and they were like, yeah, we lost your birth certificate. We don't know where it is right now. It's in the house somewhere. But technically you don't exist.
It is among our other possessions.
Yeah, right. So they eventually found that like 3 months down the road, but then it was like, oh, well, I'm about to go to summer camp and I'm about to do this X, Y, and Z. And so I didn't end up getting my permit till like my freshman year in college. So yeah, I have to go back and get that done now. But they once I knew, it's like, okay, I need my driver's license. I called my dad. I was like, hey, I need you guys to mail me this thing. Can you guys make that a priority? And they said yes. And they mailed it to me that day, which was lightning fast. I was just like, who are you and what did you do with my with my license, with my parents, not my license? But yeah, so they mailed that got to me yesterday. And then they texted me this morning, was like, hey, it got there. Did you get it yet? And I woke up this morning and I was like, no, it hasn't arrived yet. That's weird. And so they called me panicked and stuff like that. And they were just like, it has to be there. You need to look again. All of this stuff. Turns out the mailman like rolled it up, stuffed it inside our door, which has the like flaps. Like we don't actually have a mailbox. We have the like hole in the door that you can stick all that stuff in.
Yeah.
It got stuck in the door.
Oh.
And so both of the flaps were closed and made it look like nothing was there. So I was just like, yeah, it's not here. I don't know where it is. So I eventually found it. And now I can go get that at least.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's everything I've been dealing with for the past month. Then to just continue my tangent, I not angrily, but kind of confused.
Yes.
In like a, this is weird. Why don't you guys have this feature? Like, this makes no sense. I emailed MeUndies because I'm a subscriber to all of that stuff, and one of the things I get is their socks. They're like black ankle socks, and they're amazing socks. They're fantastic. But in the past 6 months, they've always been sold out of them, and I've only gotten them like once. And so I emailed them, and I was like, "Hey guys, Your products are fantastic. The customer support I've received in the past has been fantastic. I just can't get these particular socks. How in the world are you sold out for 6 months of these socks? That's ridiculous. And they responded back, and they were like, well, we restock them like every 3 months. And I was like, well, that means you restocked them like 3 months ago. How come they've been sold out to me, a member? Like, that makes no sense. And he was like, yeah, it happens. We order so much, and then sometimes we just have an influx of people buying them. And I was like, but I'm a member, and I've gotten not in an entire way, like, well, I'm a member, you must take care of me. It's like, well, that doesn't make sense. Like, this is something that I put, like, I have a subscription.
Yeah,
like,
you're supposed to know to allow for all the subscriptions, and then order a buffer for just the ad hoc customers.
Yeah, I was like, how does that work? And it seems like it's just first come, first serve. And he's like, yeah, kind of is. I was like, that's not good. Like, that makes no sense. Like, can you at least like pass this on to whoever might be interested in this feedback? Because like, that would help you guys get better inventory numbers of just like, okay, what is the stuff that you want every single month, like, no matter what. Then you guys can be like, okay, there's 10,000 people that want these black ankle socks. We can get 10,000 plus 5,000 more pairs for whoever else, right? And it's just like, how is this not a thing? I don't know.
I'd really like to be a traveling help saleswoman where I get a bunch of business books and I get a briefcase, because otherwise nobody's going to take me seriously. And I go to all these various companies that I've heard complaints about, like, I don't want to hear my friends complain anymore. What's the problem? Point me at it. I know how to make a spreadsheet. Oh, like, I'm like, let's just fix it. Like, come on. It's 2020. We live in the future. We should be done about this stuff. I know you're stressed. If y'all need help, you can call me. This is what I'm here on Earth for. Like, I just want to send out like a nationwide, hi, I'd like to raise my hand and say, if something's not working right, call me. I learn fast and I'll do it for you. You don't even have to pay me. It just gives me peace of mind that I won't have to hear people complain around me anymore.
Solving people's problems of just like, let's just make this work.
Like, okay. You know the old Incredible Hulk show where he would just, wander and help people from town to town? I'd like to do that. I've got real Hulk goals.
Yeah. Who knows? But
would you like to hear about
service has been my life.
Would you like to hear about a positive customer service interaction I've had recently?
Yes.
When I got this new laptop in November, it came with 1 free month trial of the full Microsoft Office suite.
Okay.
Which I was going to use, of course, free trial. And then after that, I need Microsoft Office all the time. Like, because working in my office has spoiled me, and I need that. I am tuned to that, and I can't do the same things on like OpenOffice or Google or any of the free alternatives. I need real Microsoft Office.
Yeah.
So I was going to use the 1 month free trial, and then a friend of mine works for Best Buy, and that's something all of them get. For being a Microsoft partner of some kind, you get a free 6-month trial, a free 6-month subscription to Microsoft Office. And she's like, I'm exclusively a Mac user. I will never use this. I'll give my code to you. So my plan was I'll use the 1 month trial I get for buying the laptop, cancel that, then use the 6-month trial. And then once that's over, then I'll buy the full year. And I had set a notice on my calendar for like the day before the thing was set to expire, even in case there was like a 24-hour loading period or something. I was all ready. I did everything. My phone just didn't send me the notification.
Oh, no. That's the worst.
I just didn't know. And I remembered it like the day after. And so Microsoft had already charged my account for like the the $100 or whatever it is to subscribe to Microsoft Office for a year. And I canceled it. And then I called them and I'm like, hey, I'm sorry. I was really just interested in the 1-month free trial. I forgot to cancel it ahead of time, but I have now attempted to cancel it within 24 hours. Can I get a refund? And they said, yeah, actually. This is still a pending charge on your bank account because it just went through. But if you call us again after the charge is settled in your account, then we can refund you. Cool. And I did. And they were very nice about it for both phone calls I had with them. They really worked with me. So thanks to Microsoft.
Have you installed the 6-month one yet?
Yeah. And it won't, and then I have to remember to save up that $100 for July or whenever it is. I have to buy my real 1 year trial after that.
Yeah. Remember getting the AOL discs? Like, here's the 6 months of AOL.
We'd get it, but we had it already. We were always AOL subscribers, but we just kept getting these things in the mail or like attached to a magazine my dad subscribed to.
Target, they had like big bins of them.
You
just take one. 6 months of AOL.
You just go into the Comp USA, right? Just throw one in every bag. Wild. Speaking of Comp USA, I was at my parents' house a couple weeks ago, and their hall linen closet has these like kind of plywood shelves in it. And just over time, those had bowed and like warped so much that they now no longer fit in like the grooves on the side of the closet wall. They're like, well,
did they fall off completely? Like you're just like, boom.
I think maybe one of them did. Oh, that was all. They were already in the middle of disassembling everything by the time I was at their house. So they're like, well, we have to pull everything out of this linen closet. And then we're going to have to put new, like sturdy, like, metal wireframe shelves in here. And so I'm helping them clean out the closet. And in the very back, because I love my parents, but they're awful at like pack ratting things away. Like they don't clean things out. And so something we found in the back of the closet, let me pull this up, is a hard drive, entirely still in box, fully packaged. This hard drive is 8.4 gigabytes.
Oh, wow.
The box says, don't worry, it's year 2000 ready.
Y2K ready. Y2K compatible.
Yep. It still has the Comp USA receipt in the box in case my dad wanted to return it. He bought this thing, put it in a closet, never used it. I look at the receipt. He bought it like the week before my nephew was born. My nephew's about to turn 21 years old. It's just been there. It's just this time capsule in the back of the closet. Like, guys, this was outdated by like 2002, 3 maybe, and you've just kept it up there.
Did they give you a reason for keeping it? Of like, oh, just in case we ever needed it?
No, I think they just forgot it was there.
Yeah, I've called out my mom because there has been times when I mean, once specifically in high school, I remember this. I was so hungry, and it was on a day where we just didn't have anything. Like, we needed to go to the store to get some food. But I looked in our pantry for a snack. It's like, there has to be something in here that I can make. And I ended up finding a can of like that Hershey's chocolate milk powder, or just like stuff that you like mix in there. But it expired before I had been born. And it's like, this was expired before we even moved into this house, before we even moved to this state. You have moved multiple houses and kept this expired powder. What are we doing with this?
Right? They just shuffle things around. My parents do that, and it drives me wild. They're so bad about paying any kind of attention to expiration dates. Yeah. Like, they're bad at cleaning things out.
Yeah.
This is why I'm so fastidious about cleaning. Like, I don't want to turn into my parents.
Speaking of parents, kind of.
Yes.
Melissa, if you were the heir to a small fortune, what fortune would that be?
Pizza Hut, obviously.
Pizza Hut? You would want to be rich off of Pizza Hut?
I approximately am.
Yeah, because you mentioned your parents met because one of them worked at a Pizza Hut.
No, they both worked at Pizza Hut. My dad's dad owned like a ton of Pizza Hut franchises in the bi-state St. Louis area, like 30 Pizza Huts or something. Yeah. And like my grandparents died when I was in college. Essentially, more or less, Pizza Hut money may have bought me my first car. It may have finished paying for my schooling. It may have sent me to Disney World for my graduation trip. Sure. I can't tell you how much, but I know at least like a sliver of the prosperity I have been lucky enough to enjoy in my life may be from Pizza Hut.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm asking this because this past week there was a news story that broke. You remember all of those like school admissions scandals and all of that stuff. Like, here's all these rich people that paid to get their kids into these expensive colleges that they shouldn't have gone to. Well, apparently one of them was the heiress to the Hot Pocket fortune. And it was just this like I don't know, this like that is the headline that I saw, like heiress to Hot Pocket fortune sentenced to 5 months in jail. And I was just like, oh, I have to read this. This looks amazing. And yeah, they were apparently like wrapped up in that college admissions scandal stuff. So I was like, if I were the heir to a fortune, what fortune would that be? It
does sound fun to be the heir to a weird specific, like a product you see every day that you don't think about, like, oh, there's
paper some clips.
Yeah. Like, when I was a kid, I read this book that was like this fun, quirky mystery novel, commonly categorized as a beach read, just like a casual thing. Lots of grandmas will sit down in their armchairs and read. It's not a comedy, but it's whimsical. There's some kooky characters in it. It's often set in a charming small town. I'm reading one of these things I got my hands on for some reason at age 9. I'm like, this looks great reading for me, a 9-year-old. Plenty of stuff here for a child. And it is this like, we're all at this beach house and somebody's been murdered. And it's giving you the list of characters on the back of the book. And one of the guys is described as an heir to a thumbtack fortune. And I thought this was just a phrase I didn't know because I'm 9 years old. Like, that's just an aphorism. Like, oh, I don't get that much money, but I am an heir to a thumbtack fortune. Like, they use a phrase. And it's like, I read the book. No, his family makes push pins, and that is why he has money enough to go to a Hamptons beach house.
That's so funny. Yeah, like that I think is the thing that I would want to be the heir of a fortune to. Just something so mundane and stupid. It's just like,
my grandmother is Jane Rubberband.
Right? I am Bob Rubberband. but like, yeah, so something like paper clips
I'm Wesley Container Store of those container stores.
Right. Oh, Mr. Store. Thank you for coming.
My name is Hamilton Burger Helper. You may know my family.
Yeah. What's the her name is Mary Samsonite. Dumb and Dumber. That would be fantastic. That'd be so funny. It kind of reminded me of the D&D character that you made, which we recorded that yesterday, 2 days ago.
Yes.
Yeah. We rolled D&D characters for a Patreon exclusive episode, which you guys can get patreon.com/the Whatnauts. at the $3 tier or higher. But yeah, your character was a bit of this like heir to a fortune kind of royalty, but he's like 23 steps removed.
Right. I was like I was like some sort of an elven high blood man. I don't know what the term was. I was an elven noble, but I wanted to be this noble that like nobody really cared what he did except for his immediate family. Like he has no legacy, really. His parents are just concerned about him. He just has paperwork that says he kind of has a legacy. And he just leaves home and he's trying to make it big as a bard, like yelling at his parents. Like, I don't care about the silk business, Dad. I just want to dance.
It's fantastic. But yeah, that also made me think of that character.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I feel like that would be the kind of person I would be if I was the heir to some kind of fortune like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am Tom DiGiorno.
And no, I never get food delivered to me. You take this Grubhub coupon and you rip it up and put it in the trash.
Yeah, that'd be really funny.
Yeah,
that would be.
There's gotta be tales like that. If I went to high school with,
yeah.
Hi, I'm Benjamin Marshmallow Fluff. And he was really nice. And we'd go over to his house. And they had this big pool that Marshmallow Fluff had bought them.
Is Robbie Fluffer? Is there anyone by the name of Robert Fluffernutter?
I wish the woman's last name was Hot Pocket. It's some normal name, unfortunately.
Larry Hot Pocket.
Okay, sorry, one more tangent, and then we're going to move on to
Sure.
this next news item you were clearly trying to transition to. So the guy who made Wetzel's Pretzels. Wetzel is his last name, but originally he was just going to call it like the pretzel shop. Pretzel time. His first name was like whatever. Maybe he was Larry. He's like Larry's Pretzels, and it took a long time for somebody to be like, it's right there and heck in front of you. You have to call it Wetzel's Pretzels. What are you doing?
There's a rhyme. What is wrong with you? Yeah, that's the best. You have to go with like rhyming stuff or alliteration. Those are the best. That's how you have to. Speaking of giant fortunes, though, I wanted to talk about Bob Iger stepping down as Disney CEO. You might be able to shed a little bit more light on this than I am. I don't really know much, but I know you're a huge Disney fan.
I am.
Disney Parks fan too. So I'm sure you also know who Bob Chapek is. That's how you say his name. So
I think I've mostly heard Chapek.
Chapek?
Yeah.
Okay, that would make sense. So who is this guy? Like what has he been doing for Disney before now being the new CEO?
The story is that Bob Iger, he's said for a couple years, he's like, I want to retire soon. The message has been out there. I would like to retire soon. He just had so many projects in motion. And he's like, I'm going to wait till like the 20th Century Fox deal is secured. I'm going to wait till we like launch Disney Plus, like all of these big things that he had spearheaded. He wanted to see them out. So we knew this was coming in general. It's strange that he's like, effective today, it's different Bob. Everybody welcome, different Bob. But I'm sure this was like
Bob number 2. Bob 2.0.
Malibu Stacy, now with a hat.
Yeah.
But I'm sure this was in the works in the company for a while and just word got out to us at this time. Like, would it really matter to us if it was like, oh, he'll be stepping down at the end of March? Like, what are we going to do with that information? Oh, but the baton has been passed.
I read that he mentioned he wanted to retire back in like 2018, and then Bob Chapek, they have been kind of grooming to be like, hey, you're probably gonna be the next guy. We're not 100% sure on that because I don't know if we can officially say, but like you'll be the next guy. But he was the one that was in charge of like Parks and Rec, but for Disney.
No,
right?
His title is he's in charge of parks, experiences, and products. So
That's
parks, like Disney cruise lines, Disney stores, and like Disney merchandise.
Okay.
Which Disney merchandise is a very cool field. They make some really neat stuff.
Yeah, they do. They have a lot of stuff too.
Like the parks, the amount of like specific custom merchandise that they make for all of the different parks is wild. There's such an interesting field of Disney collectibles that I like have barely scratched the surface with.
There is. IGN just launched their like official store, which is weird to me that they haven't had some kind of store where you can buy like a t-shirt or something. But they officially launched their store where you can buy all of that stuff. But they also have a bunch of licensed stuff. So there is Star Wars stuff, there's Marvel stuff in there, but they have this one really cool Star Wars shirt that I want in there. It has it's like a picture of one of the Japanese posters.
Ooh.
So it has all of the Japanese text, and there's this big like AT and stuff on there. I'm like, that looks sweet. I want that.
Yeah, like I know it's often talked about that Disney like pushes out so much merchandise, but I think the quality of the merchandise often goes undervalued. Like they do make very cool stuff.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
So Bob Iger is going to remain in on the company for like I think the rest of the year, maybe through 2021 until like his contract or whatever is fully closed out. And he's going to be taking on a little bit more of a creative role as some sort of a chairman of something, which is interesting because he's been a very business-minded man. He's all about like, let's acquire this, let's grow this, let's make this new platform. So I'm very curious to find out what he does when it is more like creativity driven and what's the story we're going to tell here instead of where are we arranging our tentpole films this year.
Yeah. Because the way I'm looking at it is, like he was the one that expanded them, got them Disney Plus, helped them buy Fox, all of that stuff. And then this guy is coming in and he's more used to like experiential stuff and just like how we have this stuff, how do we sell it now? So I don't know how long he'll stay on as CEO, but I feel like that was the idea behind it of like, okay, this is it. We're gonna be here for a while. How do we sell this?
Yeah, I think that's great. And I think Disney's also grown about as big as it could be. I think it's pushing up against legal boundaries also. It's like, you guys can't have any more things. Stick with the stuff that you have. So I would love to see them focus more on like cultivating the things that they already have. Not that it wasn't kind of exciting where it's like, oh, you got Marvel, you got Star Wars, you got Pixar. Like, it's kind of neat, but I think they have reached the limit. Like, we are done with this phase. This was the Iger era where it's like, let's collect them all. And now we're in the Chapek era, and we're going to see what the Chapek era is.
Yeah.
And I would love to see a lot of growth and attention paid to the Disney parks, which are already these incredible landmarks, these real dreamy places to go. Places with these absolutely fascinating followings. Like I've been to Disney World once, but most of my YouTube feed is Disney Parks videos just because it's so interesting. All the details and minutia of like, well, this hotel is this amenity and this is the best pool on property and this is how you use your dining plan to get all these different snacks and this is the festival they're having and this is how you get that fast pass for Millennium Falcon.
There you go.
All of that stuff I find fascinating. Yeah, I think he's done a decent job as the head of parks. Parks have been on an upswing lately. The Pandora has done well. The Toy Story Lands, Galaxy's Edge. There was a whole thing with Galaxy's Edge where like they were disappointed by its opening, but I think that is I think the only reason that it was disappointing was that so many people were like, oh, that's going to be huge. Let me stay away from it for a while because it'll be slam crowded.
That's kind of their problem of just like everyone knows that Disney is a destination you want to go.
Yes.
But if everyone is going, it's going to be crowded and all of that stuff. Maybe if I wait.
Yes.
And they just like back off because it's like, I don't want to be there with all those crowds of people and who knows what,
So like Galaxy's Edge opened popular, but I think they were like, oh, it's not massively record-breaking lines around the block popular? Did we do a good job? It's like, yes, you did. Like the audience just chose to like, space out and like pace themselves and when they're going to visit the parks. The parks are fine. Don't worry about Galaxy's Edge. You did do a great job. So I think that is something that like the people as a whole regarded as a success, but from a business standpoint, they felt weirdly shaky about after it had all gone through. But no, the parks have been great lately. We're coming up on Disney World's 50th anniversary. I think that is going to be 2021, maybe 2022. So there's a huge celebration lined up for that. They're doing all these renovations. Yeah, it's a good time for parks, and I'm excited to see like when you have a more parks-focused CEO in place, what's it going to be then? How much higher are we going to get to rise with park advancements?
Yeah. My parents have been interested in going to Disney World recently.
Yes.
They were like, what if we spend Christmas out there next year or something? So I need to research all of that stuff. I've been saying that I would, and then I told my mom that I would do it this week. So I think that's one of the things I'm gonna do, like this weekend and this next week and stuff.
You've got yourself a major resource here. I gotta tell you, Christmas is one of those slammed times at the parks. Yeah, but everything they are doing for Christmas is really spectacular. That's why people are there. And I would advise you to maybe consider going to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, which is an extra ticketed event in addition to your park ticket, but that is limited. It is a smaller group of people, and that ticket allows you extra like special treats and drinks and things like that. There's free things, like you can go around to all these cookie stations and eat all these free cookies. Plus, most of the rides are still running, and like the wait times are severely dropped. So I think that would be a good way to like get extra Christmas magic and hit all of these rides during a super popular time at the parks.
One of the things I haven't done is I haven't been to the one out in LA. I've been to the one in Florida like, multiple times, but all when I was younger. So that was also an option that came up. I was like, what if we go to the one we haven't been to yet?
Yes.
But we'll see. But like that, it's a weird thing for me because I want to go, and it would be great to come back and talk about on the podcast and stuff. Be like, we just went to Disney World. Oh my god! And at the same time, like that's also not really what I want out of a vacation. Like I just want to sit there and relax and do nothing. And it's going to be nonstop and go the entire time if we do that. So I meant like, I don't know what to do. We'll see. But I do really want to go again, especially since there's all the new Star Wars stuff, all the new Marvel stuff, all of that stuff. You guys can hear the dog downstairs. That's Blueberry.
Oh, Blueberry.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about Disney parks is that there's really like no bad time to go there unless there's like one ride you're really psyched for that's down for refurb. Like they're going to put Spaceship Earth down for refurb for a long time. That's the ride that is inside the Epcot ball.
Yeah.
That is the proper name of
recently just got shut down for renovations, right?
At the end of May, it will be shut down for renovations. Okay. And because it is enclosed inside that, iconic ball, and it's kind of tightly crammed in there, like, of course, when you're on the ride, it doesn't feel tightly crammed in there. It looks beautiful. You feel comfortable, but like all the mechanisms, like every inch of space is like super utilized to give you that feeling when you're inside this enclosed space. It's going to be down for a long time for them to refurb that ride, like a year and a half for that thing. Yeah. Unfortunately, that would be maybe the only bad time to be at the parks, because I personally love Spaceship Earth. I love the dry educational rides so much.
And on the left, you can see 1920s, and on the left, you can also see the 2020s.
It's more exciting than that, but yes.
There you go. But yeah, if they're doing a 50th anniversary thing, I might even see if I can convince my parents, like, let's wait 1 or 2 more years. Like, let's save up for that and buy the tickets now.
Yes.
So that we can actually get into all of that stuff, because that would be fantastic too, to be there at like a huge special time. Mm-hmm. That would be fantastic.
And that celebration's going to last like 6 to 10 months or something. It could be all of 2021. It could be a whole year.
Oh yeah.
So like there's I'm sure you could find a time within there that is not incredibly crowded.
Yeah, we'll see.
You may be able to find a manageable time during that whole year. Yeah,
we'll see. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa, I saw one more really weird thing this past week, and I didn't know what to make of it.
All right.
So I live right by a college campus. I work for that college, and it's a big art school. And I was an art student, so I saw a lot of like really weird things of just like art kids being art kids, and like walking down the street with like random objects and stuff. I'm just like, oh, there's one of them art kids. And so I've seen a lot of like strange stuff. Most of it doesn't stick, because that just is what we do.
Yeah.
We are weird art kids and stuff like that. But I saw something that caught me really off guard this past week. I was on my way to the grocery store, walking through campus, and I saw someone walking down the opposite side of the sidewalk with a giant tire. And I'm talking about like monster truck sized tire.
Yes. Oh, one of those big ones that like the CrossFitters flip around or what have you.
Yes. Yeah.
Pull with a big chain.
But this was like the person was rolling it down the street, and it came up
efficient
to like their chest.
Oh.
And then I noticed that he was not the only one. There was about 20 other people behind them with tires, and they were just rolling them down the street, or like carrying them and stuff. And it was just like, what is going on? What? There's so many. Like, it's not just like it was not all the same tires. So it's like, okay, it's not from the same car. There's also more than 4 of them, so it's not from one particular car. Like, what is going on? And yeah, they were just walking down the street. That was it. And then, like, it was on my mind. I was like, I need to tell Melissa about this. The tire brigade, or who knows what.
It's a tire appreciation parade. Everybody, welcome to Tire Appreciation Day.
But then the weird thing is, the next day, this was on like Tuesday, so that next day, that on Wednesday, I'm walking home from work. I'm going to the bus stop, and I see a truck just filled with tires. Just there has to be like 10 or 12 of them just in this truck. And I'm just like, is there some kind of weird tire con going on? What
is your community building a tire man?
I don't think so. What's a tire man?
It is what it
I've
sounds like. A
heard
big
of a
man.
wicker man.
Exactly. This is what I'm picturing. A wicker man made out of tires.
Like the Michelin man. They're like
They're gonna
Stay
make a
puffed marshmallow.
maybe for a
and
ritual, maybe just for morale. Maybe they're constructing a giant
morale.
tire man.
What would you do if your boss walked in and be like, all right, guys, we need you all downstairs in the lobby at 3 p.m. this afternoon. And so you guys all go down there and they're like, we would like to unveil this tire statue. And they like pull off the curtain there. And it's just this like giant statue of a man, but he's all just tires.
I would
He's
love
just like-
him. He's our new mascot. I wish our office park did have a statue. We have a pretty all right fountain and a bunch of geese. We don't have our trees back. Springtime's coming. We don't have our trees back.
I would be
issue
so
a complaint
confused.
to HR.
I just like, why is there a giant statue made out of tires here? Does anyone know why? And
Why
if
wouldn't there be?
Answer, like, you guys don't work in tires. You're not in the
We don't.
automotive industry. It's just like this has nothing to do with us. But why? What is this?
I don't know. Maybe that's Richmond's new brand. Richmond, home of Tire Man. Come see Tire Man.
I doubt it. Who knows though?
Maybe they're making maybe it's
for
for a big obstacle course.
maybe.
Maybe this is a community health initiative. Hey, everybody, you have to do an obstacle course. You're
Yeah.
going to go tire hopping. Us as a city, we're going to shed those pounds. We're going to get live.
Who knows? I mean, like that's the thing. Like it's not past this city to do strange and weird things.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we're a big art school, so there's a bunch of art kids doing weird things.
Yeah.
And like one of the things I did in college is for our sculpture class, we each had to make these like paper mache bones.
I remember the bones.
Yeah, and we had to make them like 10 times the normal size. So we had to like get pictures of these bones and sketch them out and all of that stuff, and then just make them in paper mache, and they were ginormous. But then between all of the sculpture classes, we like assembled them, and we had this giant skeleton in which we paraded down the street in our like Halloween parade. And it was just this like giant paper
just
mache
oogity
skeleton
boogeting around.
Yeah, it was great, but it was just like, this is so weird. Who does this? This is amazing.
People who know how to have fun. I wish I could see a giant skeleton.
Right?
Yeah.
You wild. Good stuff, though. Well, let's see. We've only been going for an hour and 10 minutes-ish.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have much else to report on. Do you want to wrap things up there?
Yeah, I didn't do much this week. I went to different bar trivia.
A new location?
I did go to a different bar trivia. I didn't do our regular Thursday night one.
Moving on to a new one.
No, we'll still go to Layla every Thursday night. We just didn't go this week because Jack was in Disneyland.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But on Wednesday night, I went to my older brother's cool brewery that he likes, and they have trivia there.
Cool.
And like you're limited to 6 people on a team, and he had invited me, and then like somebody else surprise brought a friend who got there before me, and he's like, okay, we're already at 6. So I was just on a team by myself. Like I'm still sitting there at the table, but I have my own worksheet and my own team name. Trying to see how well I can do on my own. I got a perfect score for one of the rounds. And
nice.
And they're supposed to tie break a perfect score round by, like, if you and several other people all got the same amount of points, they're supposed to chug, and whoever chugs the best gets the round. And I'm like, I don't drink beer, so I made my brother chug for me.
He is my champion.
Yeah, this is what
he
he said. He's like, this is my blood. Let me chug in her stead.
This is my blood. Let me chug in her stead. That's funny. Well, good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you had fun. You know what? I've actually been thinking, because we did a Patreon exclusive episode of a trivia night here on the show. I was thinking we should make that a yearly thing.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Some time, but like make it just one of our normal episodes.
Yeah.
Just like every, I don't know, July 4th. The closest one to that weekend is just our like trivia night.
Ooh, I like that.
Could do something like that, because I listen to a couple podcasts that do stuff like that. They have like 2 or 3 things that once a year it happens, and it's like, it's the pancake podcast where we just make pancakes and eat them on the podcast.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
So that'd be fun. Of like, hey, it's trivia night.
We should have a pizza party night where both of us order pizzas, and it's the same show. We're just both eating pizza.
Yeah.
Will the audio be good? I don't know.
For stuff like that where you eat, you have to have more than 2 people is the thing, though. We have to have like 4 or 5 people so we can have more conversations going on. So we'll have to see if Ignacio is down for some pizza, and we can pull in a couple other people as well.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
That sounds good. Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Stuff. Let's wrap things up there.
Yeah.
Melissa, where can the people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Wilkywit. That's WILKYWIT. And I'd like to point out that tomorrow, as we record this, we're going to be recording our next episode of our Venture Brothers series over on the review show. We are watching this show in its entirety, beginning to end, checking in 1 episode a month. So you can go back and listen to our...
like 2 seasons a month.
Yeah. 1 episode out of our feed a month is devoted to this show. So like you can go back and listen to last month's episode where we covered seasons 1 and 2, and tomorrow we're going to be talking about seasons 3 and 4.
It'd be a lot of fun. Go check it out if you're a fan of that show, or if you have not checked out that show yet.
Yeah.
And we're like, one of these days I should check it out, because that's why we're doing that one, because that was me. It was just like, one of these days I'll get to the show. And Melissa was just like, Kyle, watch this show. It is one of my favorites.
It is.
Go watch this with me. So here we are doing that thing. You guys can follow me at YoKyleSpringer on Twitter and Instagram. If you guys want to stay up to date with any of our podcasts, you guys can find us on Twitter at the Whatnauts. I mentioned our Patreon earlier in the show, patreon.com/thewhatnauts. You can support us for as little as $1 a month, get exclusive episodes and all of that stuff. We also want to give a big shout out to our Patreon supporters at our $5 tier. So thank you, Sam, and thank you, Christine. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for helping us out. Yeah, we appreciate it tons. I believe that is it. I mentioned that exclusive episode of the D&D stuff that should be up on our website for members only by the time this goes public. So be on the lookout for that as well. So that being said, this is episode 85 of the Captain's Log. We will be back next week with more shenanigans. Maybe an update on the tire brigade if I see more tires around the city.
What if you see no more tires around the city?
What if just all the cars, their tires are gone?
Yeah, we all just...
Mysterious tire thief strikes Richmond.
We have to put tank treads on all our cars.
Yeah. Citywide phenomenon hits Richmond.
We all have to make sure these things hover now. Get ready to make yourself a Star Wars speeder.
I want hover cars.
Yeah.
Make it a thing. Maybe
Richmond,
next week
first city with This is
cars.
the goal. Richmond, first city with hover cars.
I wish.
Yeah.
That'd be great. We'll see. We'll report back next week. Till then, bye.
Bye.
Thank thank you so much for checking out our podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know down in the comments below what you would do if a random tire statue appeared in your office building where you work. What would your response be? In the meantime, go subscribe to our channel right up here in that corner. Go hit that button, subscribe for a whole lot more, all that stuff, including videos like this one. Viewers like you. That's what that just reminded me of. Go watch this one down here. There's tons more podcasts for you to check out. We hope you enjoy those ones as well. Till next time.